I want to change the rating for an Uber rider. I think this feature is very important, right? You have no idea how this rider is going to rate you. You might think, hey, I'm in the safe space, he's going to give me a 5-star. You get hit later on with, with a 1-star. And if you went ahead right away and you're trying to impress this rider, oh, you know what, I'm going to give them a 5-star, only to find out you're getting 1 star from this individual and he or she has thrown you under the bus, right? You want to make damn sure that that rider doesn't do the same, let's call it, pattern of abuse to the next driver. So you're literally saving the next driver, and you're also saving yourself from being coupled up with that individual again, right? So I don't think there's anything wrong from going from a 5-star to a 1-star until you have the entire picture. Then you can make the final decision. So that section there you can do right in that app. You can fill it out. You can change the rating of the rider. Now, remember, you can't change a rating if you've canceled the trip, right? And once the rider has rated you, they've rated you. Let's just say you gave them a 5, they gave you a 1. You then, at least you have the power to change that rating. They don't. I think this is an important feature. I'm not a fan of rating anyway. Like, okay, riders rate drivers, drivers rate riders. I think that's BS. Taxi industry doesn't have it. But I definitely think this is a good feature. And a lot of people don't even know that this feature exists, right? They don't even know that this feature is there. So check out the thumbnail, check out the screenshot. You can go to the help center, the help section of Uber. If you need to put the question in, I want to change the rating of a rider, it'll give you that explanation that you see on the thumbnail, and then you can right away initiate the process of changing that rider's rating. Maybe a woman who doesn't want to be matched with that rider again for whatever reason. And she thought, well, I'm in safe space, I'm just going to play it safe here, I'm going to rate him 5 stars. He turns around, rates you 1. Maybe that female rider can then, ding him back. It's a silly story, this rating game. It really is. I don't know why it was introduced. Drivers' ratings in general have gone down. And I'll tell you the reason for this, right? There's very few drivers that will consistently give platinum A1 service. Why? Because of the poor pay. Like, why am I breaking my back with a rider if Uber is just lowering and lowering and lowering the pay? Why do I have to go and walk an extra 100 miles for this rider when I'm not going to get paid anything anyway on UberX? So I would say because of that, a lot of people don't really care what the car looks like. Rider may turn around and say, listen, I'm paying top dollars here, thinking you're receiving those top dollars, but you're not. And he or she may have the attitude, I'm paying them top dollars and they're giving me a pretty shitty service and the car's not clean. I'm going to ding them a 1 rating or a 2 rating. So it's a vicious game, this rating game. It really is. It's a vicious game. And I personally believe that a lot of driver ratings have dropped because the incentive is not there any longer to provide top service top service. Look, if I'm picking up people at a hotel and I'm taking them to the airport, I get a really good opportunity to make a tip because I can see how much luggage I've loaded up, right? And then obviously I'll put my best foot forward and give them top service. But if you're driving around doing 25, 30, 40 UberX trips every day and you're just getting paid pennies, like at that point, does the driver really care about the rider anymore? And naturally their ratings would go down, and vice versa, right? Rider and driver's ratings would go down. So it's not very well thought out. It isn't. And I think everything could improve if Uber and Lyft would drastically improve Uber pay and driver pay. I think you would see the ratings come up. I think you'd see a better service across the board. Big problem is the riders just don't know how much the driver is receiving. That they just don't know. And they're also a little bit in the dark about the rating. What's the driver going to rate them? The good thing is I've just shown you how to change that rating if need be. Your comments, please. If you have any questions, the cool thing about these channels and any other channel is I'm not Mr. Know-it-all. I'm definitely not, right? And sometimes people put questions out and you'll get 3 or 4 good answers from the community. That's the cool thing. I can share with you, I lease 58 vehicles. Every Tuesday, I talk to these drivers. Every Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday, I look at data. I analyze data. And I see a lot of data changing, especially in the last 2 years. What keeps my drivers going, it's a combination of being on the Uber and Lyft platform in the higher categories, the fact that they are getting the commercial vehicle, they are getting the commercial licensing, and they really have the opportunity to start recruiting their own clients. Why? Because they have that TCP, that transport charter permit that I, as the operator, pay for. I pay for the insurance, I pay for all the licensing, I provide the vehicle, I do the maintenance. Only thing I don't do is the gas. So if they have this car from Monday to Monday and periodically they check in with you, right? You do see a lot of data. You do analyze a lot of data. And what I always tell the drivers, never ever drop your degree of service, right? Because my game plan and teaching them their game plan is to convert as many Uber and Lyft passengers into their own passengers. I want every one of those drivers who gets my training and who has the opportunity, because they have that commercial license, to build out their own clientele. So it's in my interest to train them up as best as possible so that I keep these drivers on the fleet. And by the way, that I train you how to do that in the private chauffeur course, which is below at Gig Rocket, and you additionally get the fleet module, the fleet course included in that package, right, of $69. Drivers that are on Uber and Lyft providing top-notch service and have been taught how to build out their own private clientele will be with you forever, unless they have the money to go out and buy a car cash on the auction, or say, hey, you know, thank you so much, I've been with you for 3 years, but I've saved up enough money. And then I just wish them well. I really do. I want them to succeed, right? I don't want them to be like the Blaine Jones of the world. This is one little asshole, verbal diarrhea, writing me email after email after email. God, get a life, dude. Right? You don't want to end up being like an individual like that. Don't be like Blaine. That's my new line. Don't be like Blaine Jones. Some little prick out there that has a bee in his bonnet. Anyways, got to share that with you, man. Hey, have a good one, everyone. And if you want to change the rating, change the rating. Don't hold back. Absolutely. If you feel like you have to change that rider rating, there it is. Go to the help desk, put it in. I want to change the rider's rating. Off you go. You have your reasons. Leave your comments.